You know, I really wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm just disappointed. For zang-a-lang and salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your friendly internet psychopath Insanity, here with my co-host Bob.
Hello.
And today, on the Insane Report, we're gonna be talking about Juneteenth and the craziness that has happened.
It really is sad.
It really is. But before we do, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, follow us on Minds,
PocketNet,
Rumble.
and Locals.
Now, what is Juneteenth? Let's just go to the... no! I always forget about this.
One day you'll be a good enough tuber.
One day, maybe, perhaps. Here we are. Enhance! Juneteenth is a United States holiday. It is now an actual holiday. Juneteenth, also known as Emancipation Day or Juneteenth Independence Day. A lot of people don't like the whole Independence Day thing because we already have an Independence Day.
Yeah, I can see why people don't really like that.
But continuing on, holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. Observed annually on June 19, Juneteenth is celebrated Saturday, June 19, 2021. It is an actual holiday, federal holiday now. In 1863, during the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared more than 3 million slaves living in the Confederate States to be free. More than 2 years would pass, however, before the news reached African Americans living in Texas. It was not until Union soldiers arrived in Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865, that the state's residents finally learned that slavery has been abolished. And that's Juneteenth. Can you guess what happened?
Well, seeing as we're talking about it, a lot of stupidity.
Oh, a lot.
1 killed, 4 injured at a Juneteenth celebration in Colorado. Oh, Lord.
Would you do the honors?
Enhance.
Boop. Excuse me. Ugh. Ooh. Now, we also, as you can see, have ground news, which CNN, left bias, a bunch of centrists are talking about this, though, which is interesting. Bias split across 29 sources. Okay. Go ahead, Bob.
Police responded to a shopping mall parking lot in Denver suburb of Aurora after receiving at least 50 calls reporting shots fired at a Juneteenth celebration just after 4 a.m. local time Sunday, a press release from the police department said. Officers found one man suffering an apparent gunshot wound. He was taken to a hospital where he later died, police said. His identity has not been released. 4 other people, 3 adult males and 1 adult female, suffered injuries ranging from minor to serious and self-transported to local hospitals, according to the release. None of their injuries were considered life-threatening. Police said the Juneteenth celebration began in an unarmed unit of the shopping mall. At some point earlier in the evening, presumed organizers of the celebration began denying access to the unit. This led to many... sorry about that.
That's no problem. You don't talk much. You don't talk anywhere near as much as you used to.
Well, you don't give me the chance.
I'm sorry. Continue on.
This led to many attendants to gather in the parking lot, the release said. Evidence indicates there were multiple shooters, and more than 114 shell casings have been collected by investigators at the scene, according to police. Holy hell.
Yep, but it keeps going.
1 dead, 4 injured again at Indiana Juneteenth celebration. 1 person was killed and 4 others were injured during a Juneteenth celebration in Indiana early Sunday, the St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit said in a police report posted by CNN affiliate. Officers arrived at a bar in Granger around 4 a.m. local time following reports of a shooting in the parking lot during a Juneteenth summer bash. According to the affiliate, the victim who died was a 26-year-old male, WSBT reported. 4 others sustained long life-threatening injuries in the shooting. Why?
It just keeps going. It keeps going. Was this one? No. Dallas shooting. Oh, not about Juneteenth. I think this one was, which we have. Oh yes, no, this one was. But this is where I say I'm disappointed.
Oh, how bad does it get?
Why don't we see?
From the Daily Mail. Enhance. Boop. Whoa, that was an enhance.
Yes.
female mob twerk on ambulances as it tried to get through Juneteenth crowd to reach injured and dying shooting victims in Oakland. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm losing faith.
I've already lost it. Losing my faith in humanity. So, a group of women were seen twerking on top of an ambulance in Oakland. EMTs were attempting to make their way to the scene of a shooting. The emergency vehicle was blocked from progressing by a mob of people. Around 1,000 people were gathered in Lake Merritt to celebrate Juneteenth.
My throat still hasn't recovered.
Nah, when they had to put the tube down my throat for the surgery. Still hasn't recovered yet.
Hopefully should soon.
Yeah, I just don't want the hiccups.
Oh, no more, please.
Crowd appeared completely unawares as to the seriousness of the situation. Shooting incident saw one person killed and at least 7 others were wounded.
Could you imagine sitting there holding, like, one of your dear friends, and he's like, the ambulance is coming, the ambulance is coming. What, you can't get here? Well, why can't I get here? There are people twerking on the ambulance.
Oh, hella women would be gotten. I could just... Ladies, I'm sorry, but if you're twerking on the ambulance that is coming to save my friend, I'm going to slap the soul right out of you. Just walk up. And then the ambulance will need you. So, multiple women were seen twerking on the top of an ambulance in Lake Merritt in Oakland, California on Saturday night as paramedics attempted to make their way through to the scene of a shooting in which one person was killed and at least 7 others were wounded. The ambulance was stopped in its tracks by a crowd which said to be around 1,000 strong as people gathered to celebrate Juneteenth after it was declared a federal holiday. Once again, good thing. As the ambulance arrived on the scene, the revelers continued to party with no apparent regard for the seriousness of the situation that had just occurred. If there is an ambulance, move.
Yeah, there's nothing I hate more than the people, like the ambulance or fire truck trying to come through and they just won't move out of the way. They're like the only one in that lane, but they still won't move.
Yeah, no, that's when they need to put like ramming things in the front of these cars.
You just want to run them over?
Hey, if they don't get out of the way, then it's their fault. Okay, let's take a look at this. God. Nah, they should just... If I remember correctly, did they actually... Yep, there they are on top of the ambulance, the idiots. Should have just run them over.
And to think, these women one day will wonder why are there no good men.
It's sad because it's true. It's also funny because it's true. Yeah, a group of women twerking. Yeah, just God. It's disgusting. Anywho, this was from, I love this. This is the funny part.
Crowd did not impede first responders, officers say.
Yeah, of course they would say that. It's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, this is basically the exact same thing. Yeah, shooting in Oakland at Juneteenth last celebration leave 1 dead, 5 injured. This is how people reacted when EMTs arrived. Yeah, same video. It's... Oh. The spokesperson, Jerry Applegate Randrup, said the crowd or their actions did not impede the impact or impede the treatment of the transport. God, that's just so stupid. Yes, this is not impeding. This is not impeding. Falkirk reported that as soon as they loaded the patients, they were ready to leave. The crowd backed away and let them leave without pushback. Nah. A 22-year-old was killed, and 6 others were wounded. Yeah. Oh, wow, this is another one.
Enhance. 2 arrested, charged in shooting of EMS workers at Raylan Juneteenth celebration. Oh, it just gets so much better.
It just does. Raylan police announced Thursday morning the arrests of 2 men wanted in connection with the shooting of an EMS worker at the Juneteenth celebration over the weekend. God, I hate these people. Davis Lance O'Neek, 26, and Kier Ramel Melvin, 20, have been charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, assault with a deadly weapon, serious injury, assault with emergency personnel, discharge of firearm within city limits, going armed to the terror of people, injury to personal property, and assault on government official employee in connection with the June 19th incident at Robert Parks, police said. Police said one of the arrests came after a pursuit, but did not say which suspect it was. The incident was reported at 6:45 p.m. Saturday at Robert Parks in the 13th. I don't care. When the police arrived, the man found who was a Wake County paramedic, suffered from gunshot wound. An ambulance was also hit by gunfire. The man was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Policemen say his injury was a graze wound and it was not life-threatening. Well, good. God. So, I think the funniest thing about all this is I know a bunch of people who refused to go to any of these kind of celebrations.
Yeah, because I hate to say it, but every time there's a celebration in their neighborhoods, people get shot.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. So they knew this was going to be a big thing. They knew people were going to get drunk and people were going to be doing stupid things. And they did. And they did. But, and once again, now they're trying to pass a law. They're trying to pass more gun reform laws, which we all know that would have stopped all this.
Yes, more gun laws will stop the criminals that don't follow gun laws in the first place.
Of course, they won't actually just hurt the poor innocent people who follow the laws and use guns to protect themselves, as is our right on the Constitution.
No, never. God, it's so disappointing.
And yet, and this, I remember some of the other comments about this was talking about, like, well, we glorified rap culture where they go out in the streets and just shoot each other.
Yeah, it's just one of those stupid things. It's so sad to see this happening, because there's so many people who want this to change, but no, it's not gonna.
Because the other big thing is, if it's black people shooting other black people, no one cares. No one cares. No one really cares at all about any of this because it doesn't fit the narrative. If it was a white guy that walked in and shot a bunch of black people, everywhere, it would be everywhere.
And if it was a black people shooting a bunch of white people, still nothing.
If there was any other race other than a white person doing it, no one would care because it doesn't fit the narrative. And this is just going to get blown over.
Well, of course it is, because it happens all the time.
Yep. It happens all the time, and that's... bunch of my welder buddies, they're buying up land to move out to the middle of nowhere because they're all done with this. They don't care anymore. They want to get out of this stuff. So, like I said, I really wish I was surprised by all of this.
But we're just disappointed.
Just so disappointed. And it's getting to that point where I'm not even disappointed anymore. I remember, this was like back when Tim Pool, he always talked about the riots that were going on.
Yeah, and then eventually he mentioned the fact that it was scary that he didn't want to stop talking about it, but it was just an everyday thing. And now he doesn't talk about it anymore because it's just an everyday thing and we got used to it.
And that's the scary part. You just get used to it. Like I said, a number of my friends didn't go to these things because they knew there'd be shootings. Because that just happens at these things.
Tomorrow we need to talk about the gun stuff.
Oh, we are. Shut up, phone. Anywho, that'll be the end of this little video. If you like this video, then check the like button and subscribe for more.
ENSane.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Subscribe.